What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the first day of April. April Fools, everybody. Hit that like button, subscribe, thank you all. 10 hours, 40 minutes left in this day. 0049. No, I'm not going to April Fools you. You'll get enough of that today on YouTube. I think it's annoying. Save the pranks for real pranks. Good stuff. Not false price predictions. Everybody does that. It's so lame. With that being said, we can expect XCN to plummet. Okay, I'm just kidding, guys. Okay. Anyways, 00489 right now. This is lower than I would have wanted to see us go. This is lower than my expectations were. We still address this as a possibility. And at this point in time, I think it's pretty clear that this kind of rounded bottom, maybe not even that rounded bottom, I'm sorry, it's this like idea of this rounded bottom. It's not really valid anymore. I'm not drawing it the best. Let's just go back to this. It was pretty good looking. That rounded bottom is out the window. There's still a possible scenario where we do have some type of rounded bottom here, something like that. And let me see, actually I was drawing it last night. Maybe with the lower prices today it's out the window. But I don't think we're in a rounded bottom anymore. I mean, maybe we are, which is unfortunate, but again, it's not completely detrimental. Let's see here, curve. If I click from here, we click that low, and then maybe, was it on the 4 hour? Maybe it's a different one. I'm sorry, maybe it's this one over here, from this low. No, I can't see a scenario like that. That's our rounded bottom. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Maybe, hold on. Maybe it was something else. Let me see. Let me try this one. Nope, definitely not that. There was one that worked out somewhat well. Maybe it was like something like this. Something like that. That does work out pretty well. You see, there are other ways, but the thing is, this is, in my opinion, less satisfactory than what we had before, because what we had before, it wasn't just all these touch points, but you had like all of these touch points too, all of that, and it was just very well regarded. Anyways, I don't know if it's a rounded bottom. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we are holding this trend line as support. That much I do know, which is nice to see. Trend lines don't really matter much. You guys know that I believe that. I think that longer term trend lines do have more value, if we can say that. They do have more value. This has been, a point that's drawn back from December 31st, so over the past like 3 months, it's really not that long in my opinion. So with something like this, and as we can see here, if we do, let's trim it up here so that it fits that. If we do go just below it, I wouldn't panic. A lot of times trend lines like this, it's once you go below, people panic, and really you're just finding support at prior areas of support, prior areas of resistance, and support back here. So I wouldn't panic. It's not ideal for the structure necessarily, but as long as we're holding higher lows, that's really what we've been saying this whole time here, is as long as we're holding higher lows, I think we're okay. I really wouldn't want to see us get a lower low. What does that mean? People have been asking, what does that mean? Because people are concerned with the price from yesterday. So let's talk about what that means. What that means, likely, we take a low to high here, would be that we go down to 00408 or 00356. We get a lower low here, we likely will go down here. I don't make the rules, that's just what it is. I won't be selling my OnyxCoin. I'll be holding with tears in my eyes. But again, I'm not going to sell. First off, I'm not going to sell down here because I've been holding for too damn long to sell now. I've got those long-term capital gains locked in. My initial investment was, even like below this. It was at like 0026 or something like that. So still in the green there. Maybe not with my recent investments, not with my recent additions, but still making a play off of that. There's a reason why we DCA, and as time goes on, anybody who even bought like this high might seem like a genius at some point. But right now, as the prices go down, things are kind of concerning. I'm not calling for this, not yet. We'll see by the end of this video if that's something that I want to call for. Right now, I am expecting that we see a bounce. Right, we've been waiting for that. As we move down, volume is not coming in, but we'll get to all that in a second. It would be really weird, in my opinion, to see a lower low than this low and not go to this area. It'd be really weird. and this would just be a better place to buy. And I'm not going to sell the minute that we have our own main net, right? We've been selling off, guys, since January of 2025. And we've been moving sideways here in what seems to me to be a accumulation zone where the Goliath mainnet has finally come online. I'm not going to sell here. I'm not going to sell there. I'm only going to be buying more. That's all. That's really the thought that I'm having. And if a day like yesterday, basically a 5% drop in one day is enough to make you sell, you aren't destined to hold for long anyways, is all I'm thinking. The long-term holders, they sit through pain. It's just part of the game, man. And I'm hoping we don't have to sit through anymore because we've been sitting through enough. I think this is painful in itself, looking at this structure that we've been forming over the past few months, just kind of coming to an end. I think it's painful enough. But who cares what I think? It can definitely get worse. It definitely can. And that's what, we're prepared for if it happens. Let's see. There's a reason why, if you guys are following me on X, I made that trade with KTA. And even though OnyxCoin's at a good price, I didn't buy more here because OnyxCoin's my biggest bag at this point, guys. I've got a lot of OnyxCoins, so I'm not trying to add more to that. If it drops, if it does drop, I'm definitely gonna add more. I'd rather do that. That'll entice me to buy more. But for the time being, I'm just waiting to see. And in these type of environments where I'm waiting to buy more, typically that's when we pump, and then we get excited, and then we buy the highs, and then it dumps back down. Blah blah blah. Anyways, moving on from that, let's get into the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom out. Again, if anybody's watching this, and I'm not saying that the words that you wanted me to say, understand what I'm not saying is that we're going to go down here. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we're in a pickle. We're in a critical moment right now, and it's a possibility. Once we get below these lows, then that possibility is realized. We're probably going to go below 0.004 if we get below those lows. But for the time being, I'm expecting that we find support here. I'm expecting that we move up. We still do have higher lows. Relative to this, we have lower lows. But relative to this, we have higher lows. Relative to this, we have higher lows. Relative to this, we have higher lows. We're holding this trend line. And as long as we're doing that, I think that we're okay. Looking at this on the 1 hour perspective, I mean, wouldn't it be perfect? We just broke out of that rounded bottom structure, makes some people panic right at the lows, but it's like, are you aware of the fundamentals and how much better the fundamentals have gotten over time? Like, fundamentally speaking, OnyxCoin's only more valuable than it was back here, than it was over here. We look at this on a 1 hour time frame. Let's see. There are some gaps. There are some gaps to the downside. So here, there are no gaps to the upside. All the gaps have been filled. There are some gaps here to the downside. We can go over that. We're on the 1 hour Coinbase chart. Oh, is that actually... Okay, so this gap actually did get filled. Oh, that's nice. We don't have any gaps to the downside, actually. Okay, cool. Yeah, we don't. It was like, oh, are you sure? Now we can move up. Okay, that's great. Yeah, we just filled this gap. That's what we just did, and now we're moving up. As we're moving down here, there's not really that much volume pushing the price down. There's little spikes here, and maybe these are people with some heavy bags who are forced selling, or maybe it's other people selling. Maybe it's panic selling or panic buying going down at these lows. That would be the only rational thought in my opinion, but we're not getting a whole lot of volume here like we did in this little nexus of volume. 1 hour time frame, the RSI is neutrally postured. We do have a double bottom here, which double bottoms are fierce in any time frame, even in the 1 hour. I wouldn't be surprised if we did move up. Stochastics look bullish, and the MACD is starting to build bullish momentum. I think we're going to move up, guys. That's good. 4 hour time frame here. Before I actually get into this, if anybody's wondering what we need to see for the price action to be declared good again, we've been saying, or I've been saying, we need 4 hour and hourly closes above. I thought it was 0.0515. There is some relevance to that, but let's say 0.0053 is the first step in getting excited. If we move up here, but we don't get above there, if we wick above, but we don't close above, it's not exciting. It's only exciting when we start to close above. Then it really gets exciting when we get above this point here, 0.0575, which isn't too far away. And the reason why that's exciting is we break above that, we're likely going to get above this point here. We get above this, we're on a whole nother thought on a path of recovery that could take us, again, all the way back up to 2 cents and beyond, certainly above 1 cent. But that's a ways away. First, we got to hit these little checkpoints first, okay, before we get excited. First, we got to get above this high. MACD doesn't look the most exciting right now. It does. It looks bearish. It's like it wants to be bearish, but what have you done? You really haven't done much. And I don't know, man. I'm still holding out for this pump. I wouldn't be surprised. Stochastics look good. Maybe I just got to do what we all know I should do, and I should just be mega bearish. Call for this to go down at the lows. I should just say we're going to drop. OnyxCoin's dead. I'm selling everything. And then we'll rip. We'll rip. Shout out to Money Tings. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Stochastics moving up here. It's like there's signs that you want to be bullish. There's signs that you want to be bearish, and you're just not doing anything. So moving sideways, the indicators are kind of less reliable. The RSI did kind of break out of its rounded trajectory as well. We've broken out of that, which is unfortunate. But we connect the dots here and look at that. Bam. Bada boom, bada bam. Right at the 40. And right here, now these trend lines on the RSI, they do actually matter a lot more. And that's really nice. This, if I'm just being honest, if I'm looking at this, if I didn't look at the price chart, you just showed me this chart, you told me, hey man, this is a stock, this is a commodity, I'm looking to invest in, what do you think about the RSI? I would look at this and I'd say, dude, this looks good. You got deep in the overbought zone here. You're holding this trend line of support. You literally bounced right off the 40. You got overbought again. You really didn't get oversold that much at all. You haven't been oversold in some time. You look bullish. You look like you're about to go to the overbought zone. And if that's true, and we apply that here, that should reflect a breakout of this overall range here. Which again, if we think about things in this term of price action, this was kind of your left nut. This is your right nut. And here's the grand phallus itself, right? You've got this one here, and they're a little bit lopsided. That's normal. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. But the main thing that I'm trying to compare is the size. The size, lopsided or not, is normal, but the size is typically the same, right? They're pretty damn symmetrical. And we look at this size, and we started to get bullish here. I think I have that. I mean, 58th day, 59th day, however you want to draw it, whatever. 58th, 59th day, that was when we started to move up. We've been in this range now. I mean, debatably, we could go from this low to here. We've been in it for 55 days. Maybe, if we include this part, the fringes here, we've been in it for about 60 days. They're very symmetrical time-wise, which doesn't mean we have to bust through, so to speak. It just means, in my opinion, that we might be close. This consolidation part broke through in this amount of time. We've been consolidating here, and overall we got a double bottom, a double nut right here. And this one was sloped downwards, whereas this one has a slightly bullish slope. We have a slight tilt upwards, right? Remember, again, this trend line here is up. These are higher lows, not lower lows. It's up. It's kind of more bullish. We have less volume going on. It shouldn't be hard for the price to rally through the roof. And again, looking at the RSI by itself, that in itself gets me excited. Just with this higher low dynamic that we have going on here. And really, I think it's from these lows. But yeah, like right there. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. I don't know if it would go all the way back. It misses it a little bit. But there's even a way if you like shave it a little bit. This kind of looks pretty appropriate, even dating back to that. Again, just looking at this area, if I knew nothing about what I was looking at, you just showed me this RSI right here, I would be bullish to the overbought zone. And getting overbought typically comes with a breakout. Well, if we're breaking out, what range are we breaking out of? We'd be breaking out of this. We'd be busting the nut, so to speak. If we're looking at this on the stochastics, we are, potentially coming out of the oversold zone. Both of these are pointed upwards. I don't like it because we're still in the oversold zone, so stochastics aren't bullish until we get out. We haven't been overbought since January of this year. Let's get overbought. Let's get out of this oversold zone and work our way up to the overbought zone. If that's the case, think about it like this. It's not that the price is going to be moving up this whole time. We're not going to see the price just like moving up with the stochastics. Maybe, maybe not. But really think of it like this. We'll be working our way up to the upper limits of this range, of this zone here. Be working our way up to these upper limits of this range. And then once you get to the overbought zone, whenever that might be, if we use this trajectory or this trajectory or this trajectory, we do something like that. When we get overbought, it might be the middle of April, something like that. We get overbought, And that would likely be the point at which we break. It's the first day of April now. We have some proving to do. It likely doesn't happen tomorrow. It could. Any day it could happen. You guys know. You guys know this thing moves really fast. We could get some big news announcements that catalyze that. But in a standard kind of procedure, I think now's a good time to buy, obviously. I think it is. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We're at low points here, the lowest points that we've been at really in over a year. It's a really good time to buy. But if you're like me and you have a fat bag of it, might not be as necessary. You kind of have that affordability of letting it go lower, because if it goes up, good, you're going to make money anyways. If you have none or you don't have as much as you want, maybe get some in case it does go up, because you're going to kick yourself in the butt. I'm not going to kick myself in the butt if it goes up, man. Absolutely not. There's always opportunities. You don't need to be fully deployed in any one thing. But if you want to be, that's up to you. I'm getting distracted. All I'm trying to say is, if we go off of maybe logical thinking, maybe it should be the middle of the month that we see a breakthrough. And we're going to build up to that point. So we'll see. The daily MACD is starting to stave off its bearish momentum, and right at the point where you'd want it to. You would want to find support here at this zero after crossing above it. And typically when we see this dynamic where the oscillators are coming above the zero and you come back down and you find support, it doesn't have to be right at the zero. It's not like the RSI. It's not a perfect system. It can be like this, even below here. That's finding support at the zero. Whenever you see this and then this part here is typically reflecting a much more bullish move than the part here that led you into this cross in the first place. But we have to behave well. And the way we behave well is we get pale red candles. The way we behave well is we cross green here. We don't go too far down. The way we behave well is if we move down at all, we come back up quickly. If we move up, we want volume to come in. If we move down, we don't want volume to come in. And the way we behave well, I think most importantly than anything else, is that we don't go below these lows. That's really the main kit and caboodle there. Because if we do, we probably are going below 004, which means we probably are going below this. Watch us go right below these lows, and then boom, then we rally. Just to throw everybody off. That stuff happens too. That's exactly why, one way or another, with tears or without tears, I'm just going to be holding all the way through. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to try something real quick. You don't have to stick around for this if you're just curious, like I am. We're going to see how many tokens are staked. Last I saw was like 127 million. There's still roughly 6 billion tokens that are staked on the Ethereum mainnet, which is interesting, right? That is interesting, because that implies then that the team, the core foundation, they probably haven't merged their stuff over to Goliath, or maybe they're doing it slowly. I don't know. And the haters will hear that, and the haters probably aren't even here. They don't watch the videos this deep, man. They watch 2 seconds. They don't even watch it. They just come to spread their nonsense. But they're gonna be like, that is a real concern. They're clearly scamming you. No, if they were scamming us, guys, they wouldn't have fixed the bridge. They wouldn't. Yeah. I have been the victim of scams in crypto before. I know what they look like, and this is definitely not that. Or they're doing a really good job of it. Let's see. And just because it's not a scam doesn't mean that it can't falter, that it can't go down. There are there are a lot of legitimate projects that never reach their true potential, and that they wither off into nothingness. Anything's possible. But that's not my bet. You guys are clear on what my bets are. It's loading. It's taking too much time. I don't know. I'll just check my phone. I'll actually check it real quick right here. Why not? Let's see. I don't want that. I want Goliath. Hit me. 6 billion total staked still on the Ethereum liquid staking. Or not liquid staking, but just staking. It's not letting me check. Okay, there we go. Goliath. 127 million. So we really, anybody who's like been bridging over for the past few days, I think it seems like that's happened. We'll probably get a solid trough here in a second. I don't know. I don't know how that's all going to work out, but I would imagine that Goliath being the better. See, like this, these numbers aren't accurate. I think it just timed out, so just put in zeros. Um, on my phone here, it says 127 million are total staked. But anyways, I would assume we're going to get a big slew of Onyx coins shifting to Goliath. That might be when we see the price move up. I don't know. Maybe that's whenever we see the price move down. We'll see. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.